Thank you for joining my webinar on the 50 plus questions to ask before buying a franchise. I'll be presenting this to you today. My name is Pamela LaBelle, and I'm the president and CEO of the Business Exchange. In case you're not familiar, the Business Exchange is a magazine and an online portal with businesses and franchises that are for sale. So in order for you to make an informed decision, here are 3 questions for you to ask yourself. Do you have what it takes to start my own business and be an entrepreneur? Do you have what it takes to become a franchisee? And do I have all the answers I need about the franchise that I'm considering investing in? And I think it will be worth discussing what is an entrepreneur versus what is a franchisee. A franchise is a proven system, and franchisees must follow that system. So when a franchise is being developed, for example, we can take McDonald's, where the franchisee gets instructions on how to make the burgers, how to garnish the burgers, where to get their supplies from, etc. The whole process is systemized so that it doesn't matter which McDonald's you go to in the world, everyone is functioning and operating in a very similar fashion. An entrepreneur, on the other hand, is someone who wants to innovate and create. So if you don't like the menu and you want to change something, or you want to change something in the system, maybe with the accounting software, you're not going to have that flexibility that you may be looking for. But the benefit of buying the franchise is that they've tried, tested, and systemized everything for you so that you don't make the mistakes that they made along the way. So once you're doing your investigation, then you want to start with a self-assessment. And I would look myself literally in the mirror and ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself, what are you most passionate about? And what do you really enjoy doing? Entrepreneurs are not working from 9 to 5. Most business owners are working much longer hours. So you want to make sure if you're spending all that time at work that you're really enjoying what you do, and that when you wake up in the morning, you're ready to jump out of bed and get to it. You want to match that with what your core competencies are. What are you really good at? If you are really good at a particular task or function, can you utilize those skills combined with your passion? Because if you can marry those two together, that's a perfect recipe for success. What are your skills and how can they be transferred into the franchise business? And the next question, how strong are your managerial skills, is a really important question because you're given all the tools to become successful and you want to basically manage all those skills, manage the people. So very good, strong franchisees all have very strong managerial skills. And then you want to ask yourself, what is your commitment level? Are you prepared to work 10, 12, 14 hours a day as may be required, especially in the beginning while you're getting set up and started and training staff? Do you have your family support? This is really, really important to see if you have your family support. If your spouse is against you participating in this opportunity, you're going to come home and instead of getting a lot of support from your family, if they bring you down, that will cause you a lot more stress. Having family support is so important. Are you more entrepreneurial or corporate spirited? Owning a business is not for everyone. 95% of people in the workforce are employees. Very small percentage of the population are entrepreneurs because it's tough, it's hard work, it's sleepless nights. You can't just like walk out of the office and forget it ever happened that day. So you have to, it really envelops your whole life. So you have to make sure, is this the right path for you? Then the next thing I would ask myself is, how much cash do I have available to invest? And do I have funds for working capital? And not just working capital in the business. You want to make sure that you have enough money so that you can support your family, pay your rent or mortgage, that you're able to put food on the table, and still provide for your family as they want, as they come to expect. So making sure that you have enough working capital is really important, because so many businesses fail just from not having enough working capital. And most franchisors are going to give you an indication of how much working capital you should have available to yourself. And in case everything falls apart and it doesn't work out as planned, do you have a fallback position? So these are great questions to start with. Now that you've narrowed down your search, now you have to narrow down your search. So you search for businesses that match your skill set, match your passion, and look at brands that are reflective of your personality. Where would you begin this search? You can start, well, today you're here at a virtual trade show. Normally we would be exhibiting at a traditional in-person live event trade show, like the picture seen here. That's actually from the January 2020 franchise show in Toronto. And as you can see, there are many exhibitors, and you can see their opportunities. You can meet with their management right in person with lots of different brands, with different competitors, and get a feel for what you think would be a good fit for you. You can always pick up a magazine like the Business Exchange. You can visit a web portal like thebizx.com, or sign up for newsletters to get information right in your inbox. So here are some questions to ask the franchisors. I would start with, how long has the franchisor been in business? And how long has the franchisor been franchising? This number could be very similar, or it may be vastly different. There could be someone who's been in business for 20 years that would like to keep expanding its brand and knows that this is the best business model to make that happen, and then decides to get into franchising. It may be an emerging brand that is an emerging company as well, and it's very innovative company moving forward. And so that could happen very quickly. Is the franchisor a member of any franchise associations? In Canada, we have the Canadian Franchise Association. In the US, there is the International Franchise Association, and most of their members do have to sign up and disclose if they've had any wrongdoings. So hopefully most of their members, or all of their members, are in good standing at the franchise associations. What is the experience and depth of the management team? So you want to really look at the management team and how much experience they have in business and in that industry. What is the financial strength of the franchisor? Obviously, a company that is in a strong financial position is a much better situation. You may be getting in on a ground floor opportunity where their financials are not their biggest strength, but it is emerging and has the potential for a lot of growth. What does the franchisor operate corporate units? So do they own their own stores in that brand that they're running? What is the expansion strategy for the franchisors? What are their plans to grow that business? Do they have a rapid expansion? Do they want to go slow and steady? How much attention do you need from them? And do they have enough employees to give you that attention to ensure that you're going to succeed? How many units has the franchisor opened in the last 3 years? Do they have a lot of growth? How many have they shut down in the last 3 years? And I think that is a very important question that really is telling. Asking the question, how many units do you have open, is not really enough information. If you ask them, how many have you closed in the last 3 years? Let's say they closed 50 or 75% of their stores. That's a big red flag that you do not want to be going down that path with them. And what is the franchisee selection process? That way you know what they're looking for, and you want to make sure that they're not just looking for a check and for your investment, that you're actually a good fit with their corporate culture and for their plans on growing, and that you have the right skill set to make that happen with them. And of course, lastly, and probably like a very important point also, is, do you like the people and are you aligned with their values? Getting into business with somebody, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, as they often say in franchising. And this is, you are partnering with the head office. So these are your business partners. And running a business is very similar to getting married, and you want to make sure that you're going to be happy with these people, that you actually want to spend a little bit of time with these people. You're probably not going to spend a whole lot of time with these people, but do you want to go to their annual conventions and spend your free time with the people in this organization? And are they trying to get the same thing out of their business as you're trying to get out of your business? These questions are really important. Some of the key franchising terms, and you'll find this usually in the franchise agreement, is, what is the cost for a franchise? And I know this is like a common question and everyone's going to want to start with this question, but as you can see, this is not necessarily the first question you should be asking. How much equity or cash is required? So you want to make sure that you have enough money to invest into the business as a down payment, but also how much working capital is recommended. And the franchisors will recommend how much money that you should have in the bank as backup. What is the initial franchise fee? What are the royalties? And what are the ad fund contributions? So these are all fees that you're going to be paying on. Well, the franchise fee is usually a one-time fee, but the royalties and the ad fund contribution are fees that you're going to be paying every month to the head office. And what do you really get for this? Well, I'm sure when you're driving around lunchtime, you'll hear ads on the radio with come to this restaurant. And when you have a brand that is strong, that they have a lot of locations in a particular territory, they will be running ads, whether it's on the radio or online, or where it could be on buses, wherever they are running ads, that they're spending the ad funds toward getting more customers into the store. Now, if you were an independent restaurateur, it would be difficult to be running ads on the radio every single day at lunchtime to get more traffic into your restaurant. So when you have, let's say there's a couple of hundred in your market of franchisees, then they have an ad budget, and the cost of running those ads are split among those 600 or 200, however many franchisees are in that territory. You want to look at how long the term of the franchise agreement is, and if the franchise agreement expires, or can it be renewed, and is it transferable? So if you want to sell your business in 2 or 3, 5 years, whatever your plan is, are you able to sell it to someone else and transfer that agreement over to the new franchisee? And it usually requires an approval process by the head office. They want to make sure that that's the right franchisee for the system. So franchise support services. Does the franchisor assist with bank financing? And a lot of very well-established banks, they will assist and have a relationship with a particular bank where the brand itself is already pre-approved to get financing, and the only thing that they would have to do is a credit check on the individual franchisee to make sure that they are going to be approved. But the brand itself, and that is already approved, and they already have the business plan and all the information on the franchise head office. Does the franchisor assist with site selection? Well, we all hear in real estate, location, location, location. And if you are a retail outlet, location is obviously going to be very important. And during a booming economic time when there's very limited access to retail space, then or prime retail space, then if the franchisor has the relationship with larger landlords, it would be easier to secure better locations. Does the franchisor assist with design and build out of the franchise? Your area of expertise may not have anything to do with construction, and the franchisors are building stores on a regular basis, and normally they will have relationships with a construction company that will help with the build out. So you want to ask that to see if they will give you assistance. What does the initial training consist of? Are you going to be on site, maybe at another franchisee's location? Is it going to be done in your location? Is it going to be done at the head office? Are the costs going to be covered in your franchise fee? These are all questions that you want to ask. Is there opening assistance? A lot of times when a new location is being opened, they'll have a grand opening party to get you rolling. And normally, or with a lot of established brands, they have a whole protocol, and they're ready. They know how to get the ball rolling for you quickly. Does the franchisor do marketing for the brand? You will be paying into an ad fund, so you want to find out what marketing that they will be doing. Does the franchisor have a designated suppliers in place? So are you going to have to source your own products or services? Or are they going to tell you you can only buy certain products from certain suppliers? So you want to clarify that in advance. You want to do research on the brand. Have you actually experienced the brand? Have you gone into the stores? Have you enjoyed their product? Did you go and speak with other franchisees? I mean, they would be the best people to give you information on what it's actually like to be a franchisee of that brand and how it is to do business with the head office. Are the franchisees happy and are they successful? Are the franchisees making money? That's why you're going into business, is to make money. This is not a hobby, this is business. Are there many multi-unit franchisees? So multi-unit franchisees, meaning they own more than one franchise location. If someone already bought one and then they ended up buying 2, 3, 4, 5, that speaks volumes to how happy they are with the brand itself, and probably that they're making money and could afford to buy more units. Are the franchisees brand ambassadors? Or are they brand assassins? So are they really representing the brand well, or are they, changing the menus and bringing in their own products when they're not supposed to? Would the franchisee recommend the franchise to their friends and family? And if the answer is yes, then this is probably you're on the right track to buying the right business for you. Industry information. Would you buy products or service based on its own merits? Do you love these products? Because if you love those products and you believe in those products, you will be able to sell those products. If you don't believe in the product, it's very difficult to sell things on a long-term basis if you don't love the product. What makes this product unique? What is the brand position within the category? Are they a market leader? Or are they could be positioning themselves as we're very niche and we only supply to the very high end market. It really, every brand is going to be different. You're going to have to look at that differently. And I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong answer, except you don't want something that is positioned as having a bad reputation. What is the market demand for the product or the service? Have units been increasing? Have unit sales been increasing or decreasing? So, are most franchisees sales going up or are they going down? And how will technology influence the product or the service, if it does at all? And lastly, you would really want to connect with industry experts. You want to get the advice and services of industry professionals. Every business owner needs to have a good lawyer, a good accountant, and a good relationship with their banker. So in this case, if you're buying a franchise, you would want to find a lawyer that is experienced in franchise law. You need them to review your franchise document, leases, etc. You want to work with your accountant. Maybe you need a business plan prepared to help you get financing for your business, which now ties into having a great relationship with your banker. So if you'd like a copy of this webinar, you can visit us at webinar.bizx.ca and you can download it there so you have all the questions handy. And I hope that this has been a really helpful exercise for you, and that once you've made the decision to become a franchisee, that you will have all the success in the world. And if you would like to talk to us, feel free to reach out to us. You can call our office toll free at 1-877-337-1188, or you can always visit us online at thebizx.com. Have a great day. Thank you for coming.